Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing up the Clancy costume I made from Tonal Pilot. I'm going to be showing over how the costume is made, the little production shoot that was created for the set, and the post-editing process. And I'm going to take you guys to the journey, where hopefully we get one, maybe two photos that are pretty good, but we'll see. So let's get right to it. Okay, so here's a breakdown of the costume elements for Clancy. We start at the top with the balaclava, got this off Etsy, and it was great. Pretty much almost exactly how Tyler has his in some of the music videos they shoot, and it was really good to have that handy. And then I moved down, some signature red tape, got off that Amazon, some nice old duct tape, stuck to the jacket pretty well, and I can't really complain about that. Then we have the t-shirt, which is just a regular old black t-shirt from Old Navy. And then to go along that, we do have the jacket, which is basically an oversized jacket that I've had for a while now. I just haven't been able to use because it's like either an XL or double XL, but it works really well with this costume right here. And then we have the signature stole, which basically just has the Clancy text written both ways. Got some black khakis, always have those laying around. And then we do have some boots. Couldn't match the exact winter, or not winter boot. I couldn't match the exact boots that Tyler had, but these are some low-cut winter boots that worked out pretty well for me, and I think they fit the costume pretty well. They really tie in overall. So here we have the concepts inspiration that I was going off of for my shoot. So we have a couple different elements, whether it be music videos or the journal that Tonal Pilots released shortly after Clancy came out. And then we also have some of the show they did, like this one from The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon, Tyler and Josh, and a lot of red tube lights, which I took inspiration of and included in most of the photos I was taking. And then we have some music videos, whether it be Paladin Straight with the ukulele or Overcompensate, where Tyler has his full Clancy outfit. We have the journal, where some different assets I'll be using or take inspiration, whether it be the Demon Towers or some of the texts. And then red is pretty predominant, so I want to try and include that, whether it be in like the tape or some of the overlays itself. But yeah, I think there's a lot of good assets I can pull from, inspiration, whether it be in the real life or digitally. But I think this is a really good start and area to take from and move forward with. So here is a little behind the scenes of how the shoot went down. So to start, we have 3 tube lights, 2 are 2 foot, and then 1 foot. The 2 2-foots were basically placed in the back, and then they were either bounced at me, facing outward, or against the walls. And I tried a variety of setups when either they were standing upright or laying on the ground, but I felt it was best just to have them upright and then bouncing at the walls themselves. And then the 1 foot tube was used either off the side where the 2 foot tube did not have some of the basically couldn't fit, or placed in my lap where you couldn't see, or on the ground. That became a little more handy with the more little artistic shots I was trying to go for. And then we also have my key light, my Amaran 100XS, which was great for just providing some more natural light, I would say, on me, whether I be standing up or on the ground. And then my light stand gave me a variety of angles to work with there. And then taking all these pictures was my Sony a6700, which is my workhorse for photography and videography. Very flexible. Some of the auto modes were really good because I'm not too well versed with some photography skills, but I think it came out really well. Photos were all consistent, and then the coloring was really great. So here we have all the images that are technically usable, but not all practical to use. For the final shots, I did select some of the ones that were more candidates, added this folder into the select folder, as we're going to see later on. But as you can see, we did take a lot of pictures, both RAW and JPEGs. I didn't utilize the RAWs as I would like to. A little more harder to work with, and I just felt more easier just to work with JPEGs and then not to worry too much about the coloring, because I think they honestly look fine without the exact coloring that the RAW lets you do. But I think for the job it does well. I was honestly happy. I was monitoring live what the pictures were looking like, and I didn't think they were needed too much correction, but it's always nice to have the RAWs just in case. But yeah, these are just pretty much all the images as my computer is yelling at me, loading up all these files, which I need to probably delete at some point. But yeah, we're moving on to the selects. These are the more ones that I decided to move forward with. Just quickly looking over some of them. These are the ones that aren't edited at all. And these are just the ones I thought I could work with moving forward with. And I think still a lot. I did this lookward upward thing, which I'm not sure why I did, but it doesn't work too well. But you know, in the moment, I kind of thought it could work well. But here's some other images. Again, not all these are going to be used because there were a lot of selects. So it took me about a day or two just to look through all of them and really decide. And then from these images, I made a super select folder where these are the actual ones I'm going to be using. That was more just a filtered version of what I could use. But yeah, these are basically maybe one of each of the images that I'm going to move forward with in editing. And then within these, I chose specific ones in particular that were going to be edited further out. Now to start off, we have our first image, and it's just a simple vignette thrown on because one of the songs in the album, Clancy, is vignette, and I think there's a nice little tribute. Nothing too crazy, just a medium-ish shot where we have some tube lights in the background shooting the red, then we have my key light in the front left, my left in the picture. But yeah, there's a more raw picture because I didn't really want to make too many effects on all of them. I wanted to have some of them show what the actual shoot looked like overall. Now in this next image is a little more filter and background heavy. We do have two images in the back. One of them is Demon Towers, and that one is the song lyrics, and I think it might be Snapback. I'm not quite sure. I need to look again. But yeah, there's a little more effects thrown on in the back, having them bounce off of each other. I thought that was cool. I used some generation for the bottom part where I am sitting on top of. I have my ukulele right there. And then I used one of the Photoshop filter gallery effects to get this more rough, more sketch look that I was really looking for to really match the background, because without the filter, it looked a little too unrealistic, having me not with any texture or grain on top of it. So I'm glad I included some of those images as we move forward to really making sure I blend with the background, have a cohesive photo. Now this next image is a little more unintentional, I would say. It was a bit weird how I came about this. I was messing around with a lot of the hard mix filters, and I was able to come around this kind of abstract image where we do have like a silhouette version, and then the red really shines through in this image because, as you see, there was no key light or natural light. It was just, I think it was just one of those tube lights. It was, I think it was the 1 foot tube that I was holding up or off to the side, and it provided this pretty good picture overall. But I think the effects thrown on top kind of embellished a little more. So the background is from the journal. I just stitched together a couple of them together. I liked how some of the text overlays on to the silhouette, and also the logo on the top right, just subtly there, but you don't really think about it right away. But yeah, this one was a little more unintentional, where I kind of liked how it was going. So we do have some more brightness and curves and levels to really get that red standing out from the black. And I think this I kind of like it. I don't know what about it, but it's a little bit weird to me at first, but then I kind of went with it a little bit longer. And yeah, I liked how the composition really played out in this one. So this next image is a little bit like vignette, where it's a little more simple and raw, but I kind of wanted another image where subtle homage to one of the songs. This one's for Routines of the Night, where Tyler talks about having Stay Out spray painted in white as I'm rhyming to the song unintentionally. But yeah, I think this was from Adobe Fonts. Or not Adobe Fonts, it's actually from Adobe Stock, the spray paints look. I had to pull each letter and then rip them from Illustrator into Photoshop. Yeah, there wasn't an exact graffiti font that really filled what I was trying to get for in Adobe Fonts. So that's why I chose to get some vector assets and really try to paste something in there. But yeah, I like how a little more subtle this one is, just me and the ukulele playing. Hopefully not messing up any chords. But yeah, I just like really like overall how this one's a little more take a step back and a little more minimalistic. So this image is probably my favorite one of the 6 that I made, and what really makes it special to me is just how the layout worked when it comes to myself, and then the little texturing filter effect, again another Photoshop filter gallery effect, and then mixed in with some of the red tape, like I saw in the journal, just trying to use some inspiration from that. And I really think that works well with this image right here. And this is the Clancy like official cover art album. So I just took out Tyler and Josh pretty easily, and then I was able to stitch myself in and then put down the effects. But this image to start, when I originally took it, I didn't think there really had a place for it because the background couldn't really be used that well because of how it took up a lot of the frame, as we see. My little tripod right there, and some bleach. But once I cut myself out, I think I was able to really get a nice feel of what I was able to do with this picture, and I'm really glad I stuck through with it and not just gave up on this picture just because from a glance I didn't think there was any much of it, but this ended up becoming one of my favorites. So now we have our final image, and I really do like how this one came out as well, especially with the Clancy layers in the back, the text. I used the divide effect to achieve that, and I think this one came out really great. It's only used one light source where my 1-foot tube is sitting on my lap right here, along with the ukulele if the camera or the frame extended down. But yeah, as just one light source, pretty powerful because it gets to the background too. And then I didn't know at the time what I was going to do with this picture, but once I saw some of the layering text in the journal, I was able to pull that apart and then add it to the background, basically sold myself out. And I think I like how the edges aren't too clean, and the light bleeding over. I think it almost kind of looks like I'm reading this text right here, which is funny enough. But I do like, I like them all, but I do like this one especially, the final output of this one. So here we have all the pictures together, and I think this project went really well overall, having a lot of different pictures and then being able to cut that down and be able to refine them into different and unique pictures in themselves, but also be loosely connected together with the Clancy album. I think a lot of the assets really came in handy from the journal, being able to use those with specific images and being able to make them their own. And I think that's it was a really good project overall. I'm happy with. So I hope you guys enjoyed that journey. It was really a bit of a process to get the exact kind of look I was looking for in these pictures. And what really helped was a little bit of playing I did, but also the sheer amount of pictures I took, because obviously the quantity really helped getting a good variety of coverage. And that really helped in the end when it came to choosing different pictures that made the final cut. And I'm honestly pretty surprised at what kind of pictures came out in the end. And I think it was a good experience overall for my photography and my videography skills as we move forward in this process. So I'll see you guys in the next one. See you.